Hey, this is John Young with the Disc Jockey News. We are at NAMM 2019, bringing you some of the newest gear first. We're in the Denon room right now, and I've got Jay Cunningham here. Jay, this is something that people have been talking about since this was announced just a few days ago, the brand new controller, the Prime 4. And you guys are going to get a first walkthrough right here with Jay. Jay, tell us some of the features of this incredible machine.
There's so many features, so hopefully we've got enough time to kind of cover them all. So the key thing to start off with, this is a 4-channel, the world's first 4-channel standalone DJ console. So there's no laptop needed. It is completely independent, offering you 4 channels of audio. In addition to that, there are 2 dedicated mic channels. So sometimes you'll have one of the mic channels, we'll have to sacrifice one of these. In this case, that is not. You get 4 full audio channels and 2 separate mic channels as well. So I'll run you through some of the key features first, just so we can get the gist of what this is all about. First of all, at the very center, this beautiful 10-inch HD multi-gesture touchscreen. So this is, again, people familiar with the Prime series will be familiar with all the functionalities that we've got. We've got an even bigger screen here with resolution. I'll give you some of the features that we've got in a short while.
Yeah.
So the second thing that we've added to this, which again is a groundbreaking feature which has been very positively received, is the zone feature here. Now, in a nutshell, essentially what that allows you to do, or DJs be able to do, is to select a playlist of songs and send to a completely independent output to a separate room or location, still giving you 3 channels of audio to mix in the main room. There are many applications which you can use this, but if you take the mobile community, for example, they may be doing a wedding, they might have a cocktail hour moving off in another room. All they simply do here is select the zone feature. That will ask me to stop playback on deck 4. I say fine, I hit continue. I then go into my library view. Let's pick playlist, so classic hip hop for example, select center zone. This 4th channel now here has a full playlist. All I need to do is go to the 4th deck and hit play, and that is now playing on that independent output.
And it'll play the whole playlist.
It'll play the whole playlist. Now, another new feature that we've added to this is the ability to create, edit, manipulate, and delete playlists or crates as well. Nice. So a lot of DJs will kind of go into a scenario being very well prepared, but of course you can't plan for every eventuality. So for example, someone comes up and says, right, whatever you do, I don't want that song played in there. You could just delete that and remove that from the playlist to stop you doing that. So I'll show you that feature just now. So you go into the library view. All you do here is click this little pencil icon at the top, and that gives me the ability to select those songs. So if I want, I can remove those from the crate, or if I hold it down, I can then drag that to any other playlist that I want. I can also rearrange them. I can also create a new crate here. So I just call this one test, for example, hit create, and there you go, it's down there. So I can select, say, these 3 songs, drag them here into this crate, go to test, close that down, and there you go. So you've got those 3 songs in there as well. So again, really simple, really intuitive, and as you can clearly see, you know, nice big text, very easy in those scenarios where you're under pressure, the light may be low. This is a really nice, simple kind of workflow to give DJs the ultimate kind of control and creative output for what they're doing DJ-wise.
Very nice.
All right, so let's kind of move around and I'll talk about a few more things. So one of the other things that we've added in here is the ability to add 2 USB keys at the top. There's also another 2 slots at the back, so you've got 4 USBs that you can connect at any one time. There's also an SD card slot, so that's 5 devices that you can connect to this. Now, not content with that, we have also added, you can see under here, there's a little bay under here, and that is for a 2.5-inch SATA drive. Now what that means is you can have up to a 1 terabyte drive. You can put more, but we're recommending a 1 terabyte SSD drive in there. The SSD, for obvious reasons, it being moving around. Yep. And that gives you an internal library of 1 terabyte of music. So that's a phenomenal amount of music that you can be able to store. And quite simply how that operates, once that's in and installed and formatted to FAT32, the USB port at the back, you plug that into Engine Prime. All you need to do is put it into controller mode. So as if you were doing it with Serato and HID, and what that does is then that appears on the laptop just as an external drive like an SD card or a USB would.
Oh, wow.
You drag all your playlists, dump them straight onto here, eject the drive as normal, and away you go. So some DJs may use this as a backup kind of library where you'll have 30,000-40,000 songs that are on there, and you might update it once a month. And then for the newer stuff that you're using, you can use it here. To be honest, we provide that kind of hardware and the functionality, and we're very excited to hear how DJs really want to use this. So far, people have been very blown away by that functionality.
Yeah, wow.
All right, so I'm going to walk you through now the actual controller. So in this top section here, as I mentioned, there are 2 dedicated mic channels. At the back, we'll have a little walk around the back just so we can have a look at the connectivity. But what we've essentially got is the dual TRS XLR inputs. They're professional Neutrik connectors, so highest quality was the utmost of importance for us when we designed this. Microphone 1 has a 3-band EQ, microphone 2 has a 2-band EQ, and both of them have an independent echo effect as well. On top of that, if I go into the utility settings, we can see here there is a lot more functionality that we've got with the microphone. So I'm being able to adjust the talk over level, the mic resume, the attenuation, whether you want to send the mic to the booth output. We've really made sure that we've got the power and control for DJs to be able to just ultimately control everything that they want to do. So then we've got go down to the effects section. So I've got effects section 1 and FX2 on this side. 2 independent effects that are routable that you have on the mixer section here. So you can assign 2 to that and 1 to there, for example. 14 effects, DSP effects, all with 3 adjustable parameters as well as beat parameters. So really giving you that in-depth control to get that effect and manipulate that sound exactly how you want it. Yeah. Working in parallel, and you can stack on top of it, we have our sweep effects. So what we've got here is each channel has an independent sweep effects control. So we've got the filter control here. So you've got your high pass filter and then your low pass filter. And like with the X1800, you can adjust that in the parameter settings to be a total kill or just a bleed. You've got your wash effect, which is a very popular effect that we've got, echo effect and noise. Both the filter and the noise, again within the settings, you've got the ability to adjust the noise volume and also adjust the resonance of the filter. So again, really being able to fine tune that specific sound that you want and giving you that control. So moving down, any users of the SE5000 or the SE5000M will instantly find familiarity with what we've got going on here. We've got the loop controls, which give you the ability, sorry, let me just load a song into here. So I've got the ability to be able to choose which parameter I want. So if I want to select a 4-beat loop, I push down to engage the loop. I can then adjust the loop up or down. I can also hold down shift and move that loop around. Total control over there. We've also got the ability to manual in and out loop. Now there's a feature on here that I think some people aren't quite aware of, and it's a feature we've got in the settings called smart loops. Now what that means is when you engage the smart loops feature, when you do a manual in and out loop, it will only allow you to do a 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, a musically sensed loop. Sure. So it won't let you do a 3 or a 4-beat one, which obviously as soon as it's looped once, it won't make sense and it's not going to work. So there's a nice little safety feature in if you are using the manual loop feature here. If you do need a sensor, you've got that instant action to be able to do that. So what that's doing is that's playing the track in reverse while simultaneously actually playing at the same time. So when I let go, that will pick up at that point. So effectively it's engaging the slip mode as well as the reverse. If I want to play the song in reverse, just hold down shift and it will just play the song in reverse until I cancel that. Anything like the SE5000 that has got a white background and black text, the shift function provides that secondary layer function to that particular button. So track skip and the beat jump. So the beat jump works on the beat control. So if I've got 8 beats, I can jump forwards and backwards in 8-beat increments. Again, as long as the beat grids are aligned, that will do it absolutely perfectly, and you'll be able to do that live. And I do that actually quite a lot, especially if you get a song, a techno song for example, that can have quite a long part until you get to the interesting part. You can just move that up to 32 beats, 8 bars, just jump a couple of phrases, just to get to that interesting point a little bit quicker.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice feature.
It is indeed. So with the pitch adjustment, so that pitch bend will go from 4% up to 100%. Again, it's the same DAW quality time stretching algorithm that will give you the most phenomenal control over the music. What that means is you can kind of go down to 20, 30, 40%, and with anything kind of musical or harmonical, it is really retaining not only the original key of that song, but also maintaining that full EQ band. So you're getting that really nice crisp highs on those higher frequencies in the mids, and that bass and those kick drums really retain their shape and their sound, even at extreme pitch adjustments. So for those open format DJs that are jumping around different tempos, this is going to really be like a phenomenal tool that people want to use. So then I'm going to go down to obviously the transport controls, switching the synchronization feature on and off. Then we go into the performance mode. So in hot cue mode, you've got your 8 pre-saved hot cues, and like with the SC5000 range, if I want to delete one, hold shift and hit it down. If I want to activate a new one, I just hit that and away I go. That will instantly put that right in there. If I go into the loop mode here, this will give me my pre-saved loop. So if I engage a loop, press an empty button, that will now save that loop, so I can go back there and that's instantly recallable wherever I am. All of this can be done in our library management Engine Prime software, so when you load the song up, all of the hot cue and the loops will load up as well. If I go to the secondary, if I hit the loop feature twice, what that does is that gives me the pre-saved loops. So initially I've got 16, 8, 4, 2, 1, half, quarter beat. So I've got those kind of loop roll features that are down there. Then I go to the roll section here, and the green ones here indicate a straight time frame of roll. So if I just take that loop feature off, so I got half a beat, got 1 beat, and then I've got the triplet ones here as well, just for that slightly kind of offbeat roll. If I go into the slicer mode here, what this is doing is essentially splitting up 8 beats of music and assigning to each of those pads. And if you can see on the screen here, the active beat is the one that's being assigned. So you're giving that real remix on the fly, and you can have a real bit of fun with that. To hit that second time, what that will do is that will do the same, exactly the same feature, but will loop 8 beats. So if you've got a specific section of song which is kind of having a lot of fun with, you can keep that section going. A lot of control, a lot of powerful features in there to really give that kind of creative output control. So we've got the pitch bend feature here, which will go up and down, so that's effectively like on a turntable, giving it a nudge forward and nudge back. In the preferences, the shift function will then adjust the range up all the way up to 100%. What I can do in the features, I can flip that round so that just hitting that will be the range, and then the shift is the nudge. So if you don't use the pitch bend much, you can flip that round, so customizing it to really be that kind of nice instant one-touch move that's on there. Okay, so let's get to the main mixer section. So this mixer section has been designed from the ground up. It's obviously very familiar for people that are used to the Prime range, and what we've got here is the FX assignment, which we covered before, so you can have FX1 or 2 rooted in there. You've got the gain control, you have a 3-band EQ, and again what this will give you the ability is to do a total kill on that frequency band, or it will just kind of shelve that off a little bit softer, so just giving you that kind of control over here. So covering the sweep effects, so filter, so we've got that total kill, the wash effect, which is by far my favourite one, just gives you that nice easy transition. Moving it the other way gives you the double beat. Echo, and these are all post fade effects as well, and then the noise control as well. So those are all 4 independent for each of the channels. the VU meter, then a split Q monitoring for the headphones. You've got the Q and master mix, and then of course the volume. Just looking at the headphones, so there's a TRS 1/4" jack and a 3.5mm headphone jack in there as well for both of those. Then we've got the transport controls here. So again, like the SC5000 and the M, people will be very familiar with that. What we've got is the back and forward option to be able to go through and in and out of the playlists. I've then got the rotary encoder, which will then give me the ability to select a song. If we see here, the color load buttons will match the color of the deck, and of course you can adjust the color of the deck to whatever you want. It wouldn't be nice if you can at least customize it to whatever you want. So there are a number of ways of doing that. So you know, if you're more kind of hands-on with what you want to do, swipe right and that will give you the load option, so it will give you the available decks. As we've got the zone feature engaged, it's obviously only offering me channels 1, 2 or 3, so I can select the one that I want and it will load. Or if I'm scrolling up and down the playlist, I can just select load and that's doing that there. If I switch to deck 3, you'll see what happens here, that changes the color, so there's a really clear visual indication as to what's going on. And what you'll also see here is we've taken the high definition LCD display, which will follow the artwork for the artwork that is saved to that particular file that you load. Or if you want to customize that, in the drive that you put in there, you just put your like a GIF file with your own DJ brand logo or company, whatever it may be, and that will override all of the artwork and give you again just that ability to customize it. Just stroke that DJ ego a little bit more, you know, us DJs love that. So then let's move a little bit around here. So then we're going to go to the main output control. So we've got the master output here, we've got the zone output here. This has all got the ability for a 2-band EQ for low and high for that zone feature, and then we've got the booth output here. We'll take a little walk around the back in a second, but we've got you know, professional, Neutrik, XLR, unbalanced, balanced outputs. So if you're not using that zone feature, because you know it's not going to be for everyone, and that's absolutely fine, we're always interested to hear how people do want to use it, you can use that as an extra feed. So for example, you can have a booth output for your monitor, you can have your main output going to your main PA, you may have some satellite speakers, you may just want an independent control. That option's there. If you're doing live streams, maybe that's feeding a separate sound card going to your laptop for a live stream. You know, there are many different ways in which this kind of be engaged and used, and you've got a 2-band EQ for each of those.
Nice.
So one of the other new things that I really wanted to show you, which we're very, very excited about, my understanding is this has never been done on a standalone DJ console before, is the ability to key sync, but also to change the key of a song on the software. It's nothing new, you've been able to do it with software applications before, but being able to do this on a hardware is a first. So what we've got here, all we need to do, as long as the key lock is engaged, I select the key of the sock that I've got going on down here. So in this case, what we've got here is in the Camelot system, but you've got the musical sharps, the musical notation. So again, depending on your preference, this is really customizable to what you want. Then what this brings up is there a screen here, and what I can do, I'll just play this song here. Let's go find a little bit. You make me feel. So I'm now moving up in one semitone. And that's doing that all real time. The second option is if I were to kind of key match what's going on, I just hold down the key lock, and what will happen is that will now engage. So that has now changed from 8A to 5A, so +3 semitones. So that is now automatically matching. If you're doing the sync, that will match the BPM with the key sync. That is now matching the key of the song. Wow. Yeah, pretty phenomenal. So there's some
all again standalone. Everything
all
right here.
Absolutely, yeah. The power that this is giving, no one has done anything even close to this. You know, this is really that kind of all-in-one solution for that professional DJ. You know, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, whether you're pro mobile, home DJ, aspiring to be in the club, bar venue, there are so many applications that this would appeal and talk to. So we're very excited about that feature because that's a great new feature that we've been able to add in. So if you want, we'll take a little walk around the back.
Yeah, let's jump around back here. Jay's been walking through the Prime 4 with us here, and this is an incredible walkthrough of an incredible machine. Jay, you got to show us now the outside because there's some really cool functionality back here.
So these are the two additional USBs that we talked about. Number 4 is powered, so you can power off a laptop or a phone or whatever device you may want. You've got the USB-B output, so this is for the direct connection to the laptop. So when we talked about the SATA drive and you want to be able to top that in, that comes with a cable. You can connect into your drive and away you go, you top it up. Just so you know as well, this does come out the box. It will be Serato Pro, DJ Pro ready. That will be a very near update. So for those wanting to be able to use it with Serato, there's your connection right there. We've got the Ethernet link output here, so this comes again sound switch and Resolume compatible already. So there's actually a demo of that over there which we can show you a little bit later. But sound switch, for those that don't know, is a lighting interface, and what essentially happens, it is reading 2 bars of music 8 beats ahead, and it's reading the digital waveform. There are plenty of automation programs that are out there, but they're listening to the music and they're reacting in real time. This is reading 2 bars ahead and reacting properly real time, and that can be done in a fully automated environment, or you can actually program specific songs to have specific light patterns. The guys from SoundSwitch, they generally, what they're doing is when they're going out, they're generally doing about 40% of their set will be pre-programmed, like your intro and your outro and a couple of big songs, and the rest of it is just kind of letting it get on and do its thing. With the Resolume integration, I mean, there is a video that we put out just before NAMM, which has got, which will visually, I can sit here and talk all day, but to actually see it is the power that you really see. But you're essentially mapping all of the controls from the EQ to the filter, the crossfader, the effects. Anything that you adjust on here will affect a parameter within Resolume. So the EQ may bend and change the colors. The echo may introduce like a strobing effect. To see this is just phenomenally powerful, and with what we're doing, giving DJs that all-in-one solution, that power, to then be able to integrate that into a visual element and also into lighting as well, we really are facilitating that kind of one-man show scenario. Sure. So here we've got the 3 stereo neutrik balance XLR outputs, so Pro outputs. So here's your zone output here, the booth output, and here's the master output here. We've also got an unbalanced RCA output for the master output as well. We have got 4 inputs, analog inputs, all line, and 2 of them can be switched for phono. So this is DVS ready for channels 3 and 4 as well. And then there's your dual function TRS and XLR microphone inputs. So let's go back around, and we've saved the best till last.
The best for last. Yeah, you talked about some things on that screen. I definitely had some questions about that. So let's jump in there, because you were talking about multi-gesture.
Yes, I can show that very simply. Oh, there we go. Let's get back to the song so you can actually see what's going on. So what that means is if you've ever used an iPad, you'll just walk into this and go.
Very similar.
That's it. But there was quite a few comments saying, I mean, it looks like an iPad. Well, essentially, it is. It's a 10-inch screen, high-definition multi-gesture. The response is phenomenal, and the functionality that we've added in here is to make it really simple. There are basically 3 views that we've got in here. The performance view, which is giving us all 4 of the tracks. I can disable tracks 3 and 4 if I just want a nice simple view. I can just hold down Shift and hit track 4 or 3, and now that's just running just the 2 channels. Sure. So you can see here the library view. I'm giving a lot more information. The waveforms, I'm still getting that full view, so I've got that needle search, so I can move all around the song to whichever part I want on either of those songs. I'm getting the waveform. I can really zoom in, or if I want to get a little bit more of the bigger picture to see what's happening. Down here I can see time elapsed or time remaining. I've got the exact BPM, the sync status, the key, and then that is telling me that is adjusted by +3 as well. So It's a big screen, but we've not been greedy with it. We've still made sure that we've kept the very key information. So I've got the search feature. Actually, I'll just show you that in a second, because there's a couple of new things that are on there as well. So if I go back to my main view, there's a little arrow here. So if I pop that, that gives me the ability to switch the quantize feature on and off. So that will snap to all of the beat grids. Then if I go to, if I then go to continue mode, if I'm playing a track, it will just basically play that whole playlist.
Okay.
The stop time is the vinyl break adjust. So again, that nice kind of customization for each of them. So if I go then to the search view, so you can see nice big text, full QWERTY keyboard, really intuitive. So there's a couple of options here. You know, I can just type in a couple of letters and immediately that's giving me everything that's got the words ED that's in that particular search parameter. What I can also do is I can search by genre. So every genre that is, and that's from all the devices that are in there, I can select the genre and that will give me all of them that are there. I can go by artist, and again it will list all of the artists that I have in there. Same for album. The BPM and key, this is a really great feature because you can set the filter tolerance for that within the settings. So you can say the BPM, I want you to give me the results within, you know, 0 fluctuation plus or minus, or up to 3, 4, 5%, whatever. So, you know, if you're a house DJ, for example, and you're playing around 124 BPM, you can select 124, and what it's going to do, it's going to give you all of those songs that are within that parameter here. So let's say, for example, let's go up to let's put my money where my mouth is and actually do it. So there you go. So that's now within 3% because I've set that. That's given me all of those songs that it's finding from 121. I mean, there are actually quite a few, so we could be here all day scrolling. There's quite a lot of music on here. So what's kind of key at this point here, and this is a new feature that we've added, is the sort by. Previously, we had, you know, artist, BPM, title, and key up at the top as little icons. What we've done now is we made them nice and easy. So you've got this little pop-up menu, so I can sort these by key. So now this is now going by musical key, starting from 8A all the way round to 9. If I want to change that to year or rating, whatever your preference may be, and it's really nice and easy to be able to see that, and I can flip that ascending or descending depending on how I want to do that. So what else have we got in the library view? So what we've got up on the top here, we've got your crates. So this is your crates view, so all the crates you would have saved on the drive. I can see here nice and clearly in brackets it's saying internal. If I go to the source, it will show me either SD or USB. I've got my playlists here. I've got my prepare folder. So like with the SU5000s, so let's just go here. If I'm scrolling through a playlist and I'm like, oh, do you know what, I'm not going to play that now, but I definitely want to play that later, I just swipe to the left and that says prepare, release to accept. I can carry on going through. Yep, I definitely don't want to forget playing that one. Right, okay, that's the one that I want to play now. I'll load that there. You come towards the end of the night, you go to your prepare folder, and there's all those songs that you've added. And if you want, you can also send that to the zone output as well.
So once those songs are played, do they leave the prepared folder?
So once they've been played, they will leave there as well. But you can also edit that list as well. So if we go back to the library view, excuse me, and go to edit. Apologies, I don't think you can. I think when you play them, it will automatically just remove them from that playlist as well. And then you've got the folder view as well, so that will actually look as if you were browsing on your laptop. So if it's not necessarily haven't organised it in playlists, but you've got them in folders, you can search those folders and be able to get those. And then the search feature, as we showed before. So the last thing I want to show you is the main view here. So this gives me access to the utility. So I don't know how deep you want me to kind of go into this because there's quite a bit to kind of cover here, but this is all about the kind of functional settings. So, you know, we talked about the kind of screen brightness, whether you want to activate decks 3 and 4 on and off. Yep. You've got all the microphone adjustments that we covered earlier. You've got the ability to send the main mix to the zone output. So I should stress that as a default, if you don't use the zone output, it will by default send the main mix going to that output anyway.
Sure.
You've got all of the mixer settings from the type of EQ, the high and low crossover. There's the EQ adjustments we talked about the filter resonance, the extreme kind of filter type, whether it's kill or bleed, the noise volume. So the noise can sometimes, you know, especially that filter resonance for me is a phenomenal one. If you're playing a venue and the PA system isn't that good, adjusting that resonance down can be really helpful, because those high frequencies in that field can really start kind of popping people's eardrums and be really extreme. So, you know, you can kind of compensate for where you are and what you're doing. Then you've got various info about all of the different versions that you've got within the device.
Let's Jake, go back to this.
Yes, please.
Updates. How is a person going to be able to do updates? Because I know I've done that with the 8000, and there's a process.
Yes.
Is it going to be a little different with this unit?
Yes, so it will be via USB. So you will download the DMG file. That will extract that. You then copy that to the USB. You put it in, and all you need to do is click Update Firmware. It will reboot, pick up the new firmware, update that, and it will turn on as normal. Yes, yes.
Wonderful.
So let's go up to, so the second tab was the preferences. So this really drills into kind of personalizing your experience and how you want it of it. All of it can be saved to the drive just by a click of a button. And if you are using, say, Engine Prime, for example, to prepare your music, and you put all your custom settings on there, when you put a new drive in, it will also ask you, do you want to recall those settings? Yep, and it will just apply those everywhere. So a lot of these are pretty straightforward. As I say, I don't want to kind of go into all of them in detail, but you know, it's really about kind of making sure that this experience and how you're using it, from, you know, the Q loop quantization, there's that smart loop feature that we talked about, default loop size, you know, how the library manages certain tracks, this type format. Again, I don't know if many people know about this, but this is a phenomenal tool. With static, so let's say for example you're on open format DJ and you are playing stuff at extreme tempos, say like an old hip hop beat for drum and bass, so you're doing 20% for example, the time left on that will be normal. If you change that to dynamic, as you change the pitch, it will adjust the end time of the song, because it works out that you're playing it X% faster, and so therefore you're going to get to the end X% quicker.
Oh, nice.
Safety features lock, so you can lock and disable certain aspects if you're not using it. Change the key notation depending on what your preference is. So here's the key filter. So compatible means it will find everything that is the same key or a complementary key. The BPM range and the BPM filter tolerance as well. So these are for the search functionality as well. You know, here's the great bit here. You know, you can adjust the color of this whatever you want. So if we engaged 4-deck mode, I've got all 4 of those colors. So you know, that's personally for me is really important, because if you are using 3 or 4 decks, you're adding a lot of pressure on top of normally quite a stressful pressure situation anyway. So this kind of just gives that ability to, all right, I know orange is always my acapellas, purple is always my loops, or you know, whatever it may be. Okay, so the last thing that I wanted to go through, just to double check that I haven't missed anything, because there's a lot of stuff to go through.
It's an incredible machine.
So as far as kind of integration, so you know, I can walk into this with a record box USB. It will recognize the collection. It will import all of the playlists, cues, and loop points from the record box collection. It does about 2,000 songs a minute, and gives you the ability to real-time analyze those tracks. So like the SC5000, there really isn't any other hardware that has that power to be able to do that. As I said with Serato, you know, that is coming soon, very soon. We have announced that Serato, it will be Serato ready, and then for the Tractor users, we still have Engine Prime that gives you the ability to input your Tractor collection, convert it to an Engine Prime format with your loops and your clues and your playlists, and you can export that to a USB, pop that in there, you got your full Tractor collection, again without the laptop. Yeah.
Or go to the website.
Very nice. Wow.
All right, I think that's everything.
Incredible. And we looked at some of them. We read the press releases, but there are some functionalities in here that, wow.
It's we're super proud and overwhelmed and very honoured with the reception that we've got from this since announcing last week. We just really feel like we've got it right. There seems to be a lot of very positivity. Clearly, the DJ community has been desperately after a 4-channel standalone. That's got to be the highlight for us, and the fact that we can offer this extra functionality and technology to make DJs' jobs easier, more fun, better. You know, it's a very rewarding experience finally being able to get this out there.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. You had mentioned, of course, as a standalone unit, and we talked that you could use a laptop to do some settings with your music. Now, they don't have to have a laptop to do that. Everything can happen here. And
Absolutely, I'd like to 100% stress that. This is the world's first 4-channel standalone DJ console. You do not need a laptop.
Perfect, perfect. Now, this will be available? Tell us.
So this is pre-orders that are now, and it will be shipping in March.
Right around the corner, around the corner.
Not long.
Incredible machine. We're going to put a link in the description so you guys can go check this out. We are at NAMM 2019 with a first look at the new Prime 4 here from Denon DJ. Jay, man, thank you very much.
No,
thank you very much. Thank you guys for watching.